Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Sandusky District Library's virtual summer story time. We're on week 5. Are you ready? Okay, get those hands up. Hands go up and hands go down. I can turn myself around. I can stand up on one shoe. I can listen, so can you. I can sit, I'll show you how. Story time is starting now. Welcome, everyone. I am so glad you're here. Friends, we're still in the ocean. We need to get to the prairies. Are you ready to help me? Okay, let's, on the count of 3, head to the prairies. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we are now in the prairies. Are you ready to and I am ready to share some books with you. Are you ready to listen? All right. My first book I'd like to share with you today is called Flowers Are Calling, words by Rita Gray and pictures by Kenyard Peck. Ready? Sorry about that. Flowers are calling a little black bear. No, not a bear. He doesn't care. They're calling a butterfly to dip from the air. Flowers are calling a wet green frog. No, not a frog. She likes her soggy bog. They're calling a bumblebee to look near their log. Flowers are calling a porcupine. No, not a porcupine. She wouldn't take the time. They're calling a hummingbird to sip at their vine. Queens and lace, butterflies like a landing pad when they drink nectar. Monkshoe bumblebees are hefty enough to push deep inside a monk's hoot flower where nectar is stored. And the trumpet honeysuckle, hummingbirds use their long tongues to reach the nectar hidden in deep tubular flowers and hover as they drink. Flowers are calling a loud blue jay. No, not a jay, he wouldn't stay. They're calling a honeybee to fly their way. Flowers are calling a little moose. No, not a moose. What would be the use? They're calling a beetle to eat their pollen loose. Flowers are calling a rabbit to stop. No, not a rabbit. It's not their habit to call a rabbit. He might grab it. They're calling a bee fly to visit their spot. So now we're going to learn about all those different flowers that we just read about. Apple tree blossom, which is this one up here. Honeybees help make many of the fruits, nuts, and vegetables we eat by pollinating fruit tree blossoms such as the apple tree. There are also thousands of varieties of wild bees that help to make many of the foods we eat. Magnolia. Oh, these are one of my favorites. Beetles have been visiting flowers for more than 100 million years. And this one is the violet. Bees, flies look like bumblebees but have 2 wings instead of 4. Like hummingbirds, they are able to hover their furry bodies in the air as they drink nectar. Flowers are calling a small brown snake. No, not a snake, for goodness sakes. They're calling a pollen wasp with nectar to take. Flowers are calling a fat raccoon. No, not a raccoon. He doesn't care for white bloom or sweet perfume. They're calling a moth in the light of the moon. Flowers are calling a desert deer. No, not a deer. He can't even get near. They're calling a nectar bat to flap over here. So this one's called a blowout beard tongue, and pollen wasps, like bees, make lobes of nectar and pollen to feed their young. This one is called a carden cactus, and lesser long-nosed bats have long tongues that can reach the nectar deep inside the bell-shaped flowers, unfurl for just one short night. And then this one is a moonflower and Carolina sphinx moths. Sphinx moths are expert flyers with very long tongues. Like the cactus, the blooms of the moonflowers open for just one night and depend on the nighttime visits of moths for pollination. Flowers are calling a busy wren. No, not a wren. He's already seen them. They're calling some children to look again. Look at a flower. What do you see? You see the color. We see the pattern. We see the shape, right? We smell them. So that's my first book I wanted to share with you. So our craft this week is we're going to make some flowers. So in your craft kit bag, you should have some coffee filters that are cut out already. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a marker and color them. And color them really bright and really dark, because the more color you put on these coffee filters, the better that they're going to look. And then with the help of a older sibling or a grown-up, you're going to take some water and you're going to get the coffee filter just a little bit wet. You don't have to use a lot of water. You can just go quickly underneath the faucet, just a little bit wet. And then once your coffee filter is wet, so first you color on it and then you get it wet, you're going to place it on a piece of paper towel or somewhere where it can dry, okay? And then when you're done, you should have this. You should have a coffee filter that's got lots of colors to make it look like a flower. And then also in your craft kit, you should have some color of a pipe cleaner. It might not be green, it might be a different color, but you should have some type of pipe cleaner. So then you're going to scrunch up your coffee filter. Let me show you. So you're going to scrunch it up so it kind of looks more like a flower. And then you're going to wrap your pipe cleaner around that middle. And so then you have a flower. And you should have 3 of these. So you can make 3 different flowers. And then you'll have a bouquet of your own flowers that you can keep. Okay? All right, let's get to our next story. Our next story is called If I Had a Horse by Gina Marino. Okay. I love the pictures in this book. It kind of reminds me of the coffee filter flowers you guys are going to do. If I had a horse, I would bring him the biggest apple I could find. He might be shy like me, but if I stayed quiet, he would learn to be my friend. If I had a horse, I would hug him until he let me climb on his back. At first, I might have to tame him. And we might not agree on everything. I would have to be strong like him. He would have to be gentle like me. If I had a horse, we would be brave together. We would explore places we've never been. And run wild with new friends. But no other horse would be like my horse. If I had a horse, I would be fearless like him. And together, standing on the horse's back, we could do anything. All right, my friends, that's all the books I have to share with you this week. If you stop in at the library and you'd like to check out more books that are on the prairie type theme, just look for the Pigeon. He's sitting on top of all of our preschool books, so that match our theme for this week. So a couple of new books that I'd like to share with you that are here at the Sandusky District Library. There's one that's called Let's Pop Pop Popcorn. This one is cute and you call it quits. Oh no. And the last one is, which I love the pictures in this one, are the octopus escapes. So those are just a couple of the books that we have here at the library that are brand new. So we hope you stop by soon. All right, let's do our ending poem. Are you ready? Tickle the stars, tickle your toes, turn around and tickle your nose. Reach down low, reach up high. Stories time is over. So wave goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. I will see you next week.